I think that's why I'm so excited, is because I have been blessed to see what it looks like under the goat. And now you're going to the baby goat who's been, all the eyes are on her all around the world. And so it's just kind of a cool experience for everybody.
She's completely transformed the game for the better. That's how Sophie Cunningham described Caitlin Clark in a recent interview after joining the Indiana Fever. While some critics still try to dismiss Clark's influence, Cunningham's honest take, as an experienced player, really means something.
I am joined by Indiana Fever Sophie Cunningham. And I just said Indiana Fever Sophie Cunningham. You have been with the Phoenix Mercury for 6 years, now heading over to Indiana for the 2025 season. What does that feel like? How has that transition been?
But there's another quote from Sophie Cunningham's interview with the New York Post that says even more, "I've been that feisty player my whole career." Sophie isn't just heading to Indiana to hit threes. She's coming in as the enforcer this young team badly needs. With Caitlin Clark facing some of the toughest, most physical defense we've ever seen, having a teammate who's ready to stand up and fight back could be the key to unlocking greatness. Want to hear the rest of what Sophie had to say? Drop CC and Sophie in the comments. Let's run it.
You know, it is so funny that you even said that, because I'm still, I'm so excited, but I'm still not used to it, just because I've been drafted out here. I've been here for 6 years. And so a couple weeks ago, I threw on the Indiana jersey for the first time, and everyone's saying I'm a Fever. And so I'm like, oh, I gotta get used to the new me, which I love. I'm so excited for. I think it's just such a great opportunity. I'm excited to play with the players that are there, play under the coaching staff that's there. And so I think this is just a new and exciting era for me, and everyone that I kind of partner with.
Did you know the Indiana Fever only won 5 games just a few years ago? That record put them dead last in the league, and the hole they're digging out of is deeper than most people think. Even after landing the #1 pick in 2023 and bringing in Aaliyah Boston, they still finished with a rough 13-27 record. This wasn't just a bad stretch. It was a wake-up call that something major needed to change in Indianapolis.
I think Indy, those my year 1 through 3.5. Well, let me just say this. I went through my 7 years in Indy. I've had 4 head coaches. So that within itself was kind of like, no one really knows what an experience of like the black stick at the bottom. Trust me, I've been there. Trust me. So I was, that's really how it started,
Think about what that really means for a franchise hitting rock bottom. The Fever weren't just losing games. They were losing visibility in a league where staying relevant is already a challenge. Their struggles were so obvious, it wasn't just about needing improvement anymore. It was clear to everyone, a full roster reset wasn't optional. It was the only way forward.
I left, it was still a rebuild stage. So different coaches got hired. And I think that at that point, we was trying to figure out whether I would keep swimming or if I would sink individually. And I'll be honest, I didn't know what would happen in my career. I didn't know how it would turn out, because the points were the points, the accolades were accolades, but it wasn't enough.
That team winning. Team, not individual, team.
And anybody that wanted to compete and be a winner,
it's about team.
Then came the 2024 draft, and just like that, everything changed. The Fever landed the #1 pick and selected Caitlin Clark, arguably the most impactful rookie the WNBA has ever seen. Overnight, the team that no one was watching became the team everyone was talking about. But with the spotlight came pressure. Critics and skeptics didn't wait long to start asking tough questions. Would Clark's game hold up at the pro level? Could this young squad really hang with the league's top teams? And these weren't just random opinions on social media. These were serious concerns from respected basketball voices, pointing out that despite Clark's talent, she was stepping into a team with a lot of holes still to fill.
Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
When the 2024 season tipped off, the early struggles only fueled the critics. The team looked out of sync at times, struggling to build chemistry. Caitlin Clark was taking a beating out there. Opponents were clearly trying to welcome her to the league with extra contact. And the Fever's flaws were hard to miss. They lacked grit, their shooting was up and down, and most noticeably, they didn't have an enforcer. Someone who could set the tone when things got physical. It quickly became clear that talent alone wouldn't be enough. The Fever didn't just need skilled players, They needed veterans who'd been through the wars, who knew how to win, and who wouldn't fold under the pressure that comes with having a high-profile star like Clark on the team.
Are you in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position, and I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
That's when the front office stepped up and what could be remembered as one of the smartest rebuilds in recent WNBA history, Fever Management responded by bringing in a wave of veteran talent. Sophie Cunningham, DeWanna Bonner, Sydney Colson, and Natasha Howard. These weren't just experienced players, they were proven winners. Each of them had been in high-pressure, championship moments. They knew what it takes to compete at the highest level. And most importantly, they could show the Fever's young core what it really means to win.
It's a wonderful fresh start for you. But before we look ahead, I kind of want to look back on your experience in Phoenix. Like you said, you were drafted there. You spent the last 6 seasons with the GOAT, Diana Taurasi, who just announced her retirement. What have you learned from her?
Oh man, I think we could sit here for days if we really went into that. But you know, at the end of the day, I think that Dee is one of the best humans I've ever met. She has one of the best hearts. The way she not only thinks about life, but the game is just on a whole nother level.
And out of all the veteran additions, no one made a bigger splash than Sophie Cunningham. While the Fever's front office was making quiet, calculated moves behind the scenes, no one saw the bombshell Sophie would drop during her media tour. Most veterans are cautious when talking about rookies. They don't want to hype them up too fast. But Sophie went in a completely different direction. Her bold praise caught everyone off guard and left basketball analysts stunned.
Went from playing with a true legend of the game to now a rising legend of the game in Caitlin Clark in Indiana. What is it about her? What have you observed about Caitlin Clark now that you're going to be one of her teammates?
In a bold and honest interview with the New York Post, Sophie Cunningham made it clear she was built for this moment. After grinding through tough seasons in Phoenix, Sophie saw this trade not as just another move, but as a turning point in her career. "I think it's built me for something bigger and better," she said. "And the stage we're about to be on, with the players I'm about to join." Her words hit like a rallying cry, not just for herself, but for the entire Fever franchise.
It was exactly what Cunningham needed after she got, quote, too comfortable across 6 seasons in Phoenix. Now she tells the New York Post that she's equipped to thrive in the spotlight while playing alongside Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. Quote, "I think that since I've been out here in Phoenix, it hasn't always been easy," Cunningham, 28, said while discussing a partnership with Quest Nutrition. "There have been a lot of trials. There's been a lot of lessons learned, a lot of experiences that I thought was just like any WNBA team. But I think it's built me. It's made me tougher. It's tested my persistence and my mental quite a bit."
What makes Cunningham's comments stand out is how real they are. Instead of giving the usual cliches about taking it one game at a time, she spoke honestly about the ups and downs of pro sports. "That doesn't mean it's always going to be rainbows and butterflies," she admitted, showing a rare level of self-awareness. "Each season has their thing." That kind of honesty is exactly what she'll bring to the locker room. No sugarcoating, just straight-up real talk.
Something bigger and better in the stage that we're about to be on with the players that I'm about to be with. I think I am built for this. So she's telling you she's ready. Did you pick up on the, "I think it's made me tougher"? Because look, they're not only going to come after Caitlin Clark, they're going to come after Miss Cunningham too. That is a fact. Unfortunately for her, I have a feeling she's not going to back down from anybody.
The move to Indiana came with a funny twist of irony. During the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game, Sophie had a lighthearted moment with Caitlin Clark. "I told her, 'Hey, if you ever want to come to Phoenix, let me know,'" Sophie recalled with a laugh. "That one kind of backfired on me." Turns out, the basketball gods had different plans, sending Sophie to Indianapolis instead.
Clark's fame put the team under a microscope, which opened the floodgates for scrutiny and constant attention. The Fever had to increase security when they drafted the Hawkeyes legend. None of that is intimidating to Cunningham. Here we go. And she's already said she's tough. Now we know she's not intimidated. Who's ready to chase a championship with a new look Fever? Quote, "I think that's why They brought in a lot of veterans who have that experience, Cunningham said. And I'm not saying that they have the experience of hundreds of millions of followers watching you, watching your every step, but I do feel like they brought an experience of how to gel in the locker room.
If you're as fired up for the season as we are, drop a CC and Sophie in the comments. Let's rise together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on the screen now, and we'll catch you in the next one.